morning, Doc. This is Nurse Anna from the Emergency Department. I'm calling regarding Mr. Juan de la Cruz, a 62-year-old male na kararating lang sa ER due to severe chest pain. According to the patient, nagsimula ang chest pain around 2 hours ago. Ang pain ay radiating to the left arm and jaw, accompanied by shortness of breath and profuse sweating. Currently, mukhang unstable ang patient, Doc, at highly suspicious for acute myocardial infarction.
Hello, Doc. Sa background po ng pasyente, the patient is known hypertensive with type 2 diabetes mellitus and dyslipidemia, Doc. Ayon sa kanyang asawa, Doc, nagpapahinga lang po ang pasyente sa bahay nang biglang sumakit po ang kanyang dibdib ng matindi. Upon arrival sa ER, ito po ang kanyang vital signs: BP of 90/60, heart rate 110, respiratory rate of 24, and saturation of 94% on room air, Doc. Yes, Doc, nakapag-perform na rin po kami ng 12-lead ECG which showed ST segment elevation on anterior lead. Initial cardiac biomarkers, Doc, ay elevated and consistent with the acute STEMI. Nabigyan na rin po namin siya ng initial management, including aspirin at clopidogrel as ordered, Doc.
Based on the patient's symptoms, ECG findings, and elevated cardiac biomarkers, our assessment is ST elevation myocardial infarction or STEMI. At this time, hypotensive pa din yung pasyente natin, no, and tachycardic. So, this indicates na compromised talaga yung cardiac function niya. So, dahil din dito, mataas yung risk niya for hemodynamic instability and cardiogenic shock if hindi natin siya ma-manage kaagad. Yes, ma'am.
Doc, we recommend immediate activation of the STEMI protocol and urgent transfer to the cardiac cath lab for emergency percutaneous coronary intervention or angioplasty.
We also recommend close hemodynamic monitoring after the procedure. Dahil unstable ang patient, Doc, possible kailanganin natin ng invasive monitoring such as CVP, arterial lines, Swan-Ganz once admitted sa ICU, Doc.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with your recommendations. Paki-prepare na lang, ma'am, yung pasyente natin for immediate PCI. Tapos continuous pa rin yung cardiac monitoring natin, and paki-secure na lang din po ng IV access. And also, paki-coordinate pala, ma'am, sa cath lab tsaka sa ICU. We will also anticipate the possible need for vasoactive medications and hemodynamic monitoring after ng procedure natin. Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Following the SBAR endorsement and the activation of STEMI protocol, the patient was immediately transferred to cath lab for emergency angioplasty.
After successful angioplasty, Mr. Juan de la Cruz was transferred to ICU for close monitoring. Na-open na po yung blocked coronary artery ni patient, but unstable pa rin po yung condition niya as of now. For the latest vital signs po, our BP is 92/58, 108 for the heart rate, RR 22 breaths per minute, and 96% on O2 sat via oxygen support. First, nag-insert tayo ng central venous pressure or CVP catheter. Ang purpose nito is para ma-monitor natin ang fluid status ng patient at makita kung sapat ba ang preload niya. So, our initial CVP reading is 12 mmHg. Ibig sabihin, hindi fluid depleted ang pasyente at mayroon ng increased filing pressure. So, makakatulong ito para mag-guide tayo kung kailangan pa ng fluids or ibang intervention para sa pasyente.
Naglagay din tayo ng arterial line para sa continuous blood pressure monitoring. Mas accurate ang arterial line compared sa regular blood pressure cuff, especially sa mga critically ill patients. Currently, ang arterial line readings are BP is 88/54, mmHg, mean arterial pressure is 65. Dahil hindi pa rin stable ang pasyente, nag-insert din tayo ng Swan-Ganz catheter. Ang mga reading ay cardiac index is 1.8, PCW is 22 msg. These findings suggest na mahina ang pumping function ng puso at may increased pressure sa left side of the heart.
Despite successful PCI, patuloy pa rin ang pagbaba ng blood pressure ng patient. Dahil dito, nag-order ang physician ng norepinephrine infusion. Norepinephrine is a vasoactive medication na nagkakos ng vasoconstriction para tumaas ang systemic vascular resistance at blood pressure. Ang goal natin is ma-maintain ang MAP na at least 65 para mag-perfuse ng maayos ang vital organs.
Ang dobutamine ay isang inotropic agent na nagpapalakas ng contraction ng heart muscles para mas maraming dugo ang maipump sa puso.
So, 30 minutes after starting both medications, nag-repeat assessment tayo. So, results showed MAP 68 mmHg, cardiac index 2.0 liter per minute per square meter. Kahit may konting improvement, pero napapansin pa rin natin ang signs ng poor perfusion. Kabilang dito ang cool extremities, delayed capillary refill, decreased urine output. So, ibig sabihin, kahit may medication na, hindi pa rin sapat ang pumping ability ng puso.
Kalipas ng ilang oras, lalo pang nag-deteriorate ang condition ng patient. Current assessment shows BP 78/45 mmHg, MAP is 56 mmHg, heart rate is 128 beats per minute. Napapansin din natin na restless at medyo confused na ang patient. Urine output is only 15 ml per hour, which indicates poor kidney perfusion.
Sa repeat laboratory result, tumaas ang lactate level to 5.2 mmol per liter. Ang elevated lactate ay sign na hindi nakakakuha ng sapat na oxygen ang tissues ng katawan. Upon assessment, napansin natin ang cold clammy skin, weak peripheral pulses, mottled extremities. These are classic signs of cardiogenic shock.
Based on the repeat Swan Guns readings, the CVP 15 mmHg, PCWP, pulmonary capillary wedge pressure, was 26 mmHg, and the cardiac index is 1.5 liter per minute per square meters. These values indicate severe left ventricular dysfunction. Despite angioplasty and maximum vasoactive support, hindi pa rin kayang magbigay ng adequate circulation ng puso. The patient is now experiencing refractory cardiogenic shock. Dahil dito, kailangan na nating mag-escalate to advanced mechanical circulatory support.
Dahil sa worsening cardiogenic shock, nag-decide ang team na mag-insert ng intra-aortic balloon pump or IABP. Ang IABP ay inserted through the femoral artery and positioned sa descending thoracic aorta. Gumagana ito through a process called counterpulsation. Kapag diastole, nag-i-inflate ang balloon para madagdagan ang blood flow papunta sa coronary arteries. Kapag systole naman, mabilis itong nagdi-deflate para mabawasan ang afterload at mapadali ang pagpump ng puso. The benefits of IABP include improved coronary perfusion, reduced myocardial workload, and improved cardiac output.
Fortunately, despite ng IABP support, critical at unstable pa rin yung pasyente natin. Persistent pa rin yung hypotension niya at may evidence pa rin tayo ng poor tissue perfusion. So dahil dito, hindi sapat yung mga gamot at yung IABP natin. So nagdesisyon ang cardiogenic shock team na mag-initiate tayo ng VA ECMO. Ano ba ang VA ECMO? Ang VA ECMO stands for Venous Arterial Extracorporeal Membrane Oxygenation. It provides both cardiac and respiratory support. So sa VA ECMO, ang blood ay kinukuha mula sa venous circulation, dinadala papunta sa oxygenator para ma-oxygenate yung blood natin. At ibinabalik naman sa arterial circulation. So parang pansamantalang tumutulong ang machine na ito sa trabaho ng puso at baga natin habang nagre-recover yung ating pasyente. So after ng ECMO initiation, napansin natin na may improvement sa hemodynamic status ng pasyente natin. After ng assessment, ang map ng pasyente natin ngayon ay 72 mm mercury. Nag-increase na din yung urine output niya, nag-decrease yung lactate acid level, at saka meron na tayong better tissue perfusion. So, this indicates that ECMO is helping maintain adequate circulation habang nire-recover yung puso ng ating pasyente.
Early recognition of myocardial infarction is very important. Using SBAR helps ensure clear, effective communication. Immediate reperfusion through PCI can save heart muscle.
Invasive monitoring helps assess the patient's hemodynamic status.
CVP monitoring guides fluid management. Arterial line and Swan-Ganz catheter provide accurate and continuous monitoring.
Vasoactive medications help maintain blood pressure.
Inotropic agents improve cardiac contractility.
Continuous reassessment is essential in critically ill patients.
Early recognition of cardiogenic shock can save lives.
Advanced therapies may be necessary when the conventional treatment fails.
IABP helps improve coronary perfusion and reduce cardiac workload.
ECMO provides a life-saving support for patients with cardiogenic shock.
Through teamwork, effective communication, proper monitoring, and timely interventions, we can provide quality care and improve outcomes for patients with myocardial infarction and cardiogenic shock.